Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Linda Kellner. An identity thief could be anybody. And I'm not going to pretend that I can tell you what you need to know about identity theft. We're about our legal service in a few minutes. We're like Carol. Carol has many wonderful products. Can't do any of those to be an injustice. So please see me after the meeting. Give me a call. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about identity theft. I hope that everybody in here is concerned about it. I've been fortunate enough to be invited to quite a few cybersecurity events. These are people at the highest level, and they say the same thing that I do. Be careful. As business, you need to learn as much as you can. That the next attack on America will be cybersecurity. That will be the Pearl Harbor. So do what you can for your business. I'll give you just a couple of tips. And if you want more, please see me. I can email you. I've been coming here for many years. I've never once asked anybody, will you buy my product? So I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'll tell you a little bit about what we have to offer. If it makes sense, you could buy it. I'll be glad to sell it to you. For identity theft. Identity theft is the deliberate assumption of another individual's non-public information. This is true also with businesses. I have before me something really deadly. The David Cantando promised that he wouldn't wear this anymore. That's what we're talking about. This is called a credit check. And most of us put things in it. Most of us put things in it sometimes that shouldn't be in there. So be very, very careful. Shred, 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 pulverize, burn, whatever, but don't put things in here that somebody shouldn't be able to read. A couple of weeks ago, I was going to a network meeting. Early in the morning, I had one more bag of garbage. So I hurried up and grabbed it, threw it on top of the cans, left. I came back a couple hours. My garbage wasn't taken by the garbage man, but that one bag was. Someone had stopped. There were papers in it. They took my one bag of garbage, probably to sort through it to get information. If you talk to people that work with the government, that's what they do. You talk to all the agencies, they are dumpster divers. They go through the bad guy's information. That's how they get convictions on it. So be very careful about this. Be sure that for your credit cards, things like this, that you photocopy both sides of them, put them somewhere safe. Don't be like John McCool. I'm a legend in my family for putting things in safe places and then not being able to find them. And my wife will say, where is it? I get the deer in the headlights look and rubber hose, all that kind of stuff. So you don't want that. Put it somewhere where it's safe, you'll be able to find it, but be careful about your Social Security card too. People my age, old people, we were always taught that we should keep our Social Security card with us at all times. I'm telling you now, you probably won't be drafted into the Army in the middle of the afternoon. You very rarely need that Social Security card. If someone asks for it, ask if you can use another identifier other than your Social Security number. Again, if you want more information about that, see me. But what I'd like to talk to you more today about than the identity theft is about the legal service we have, because most people don't realize that we do this. And we're very much about prevention, about being careful about things. You know, if you have a bad tire, you keep looking at it, and say, I need to get a tire, I need to get a tire. What's going to happen? You are going to have a blowout, probably at the worst possible time. You're driving down some country back road, boom, there goes your tire. So what we do is about prevention. We have legal services that are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for medical. Most people have a doctor or access to some type of medical facility. Are you prepared for a legal emergency? Do you have an attorney on call 24 hours a day? Most of us don't. When you think about the really, really wealthy people like Greg Eisenreich, and some of the other people, he's always talking about winning the lottery. Don't most of us think about that? Sometimes, I'm winning the lottery. What's the big difference between you and the people who are fabulously wealthy? First of all, you have lots of money. What's the second thing? They have attorneys on retainer, don't they? Anything happens, they pick up their phone and say, hey, this company won't honor the warranty. This happened. Someone backed into my car. All these things happen. They call their attorney. Why don't most people do it? They don't have attorneys on retainer. For $17 a month, you, your spouse, your children under age 21 that are maybe living with you, and even up to 23 if they're full-time college students, they're covered. So it's a wonderful plan. I could tell you lots and lots about it, but I won't have the time. The big things with it, you have access to attorneys that pick up your phone, calling our network of 7,000 law firms across the United States and Canada. Some of the people in this room are my clients, and so I can tell you about some of the things that they've used this for, and things happen when you least expect them. There's no contract to sign, and if you bought a morning paper, it's less than a Post-Gazette or Tribune Review, things like that. And I think our good gal, Rosemary Capito, can tell you about some people that she knows that have had traffic violations, or some people driving a little too fast. Not that you know anybody who's close by, right? But these are the things we do. You pick up your phone, you call and say, you don't believe what happens to you. They take your information, then they have the appropriate attorney call you back. I think there are as many different kinds of attorneys as there are different kinds of doctors. Tax attorneys, there's environmental attorneys, there's for every kind of business you could think of, there are different attorneys. So they get the appropriate attorney to call you back, find out your information. They'll give you advice if that's what you need. They'll make a phone call or a letter. Can you imagine that? All this for $17 a month? I was teaching, I was raising 5 kids. I didn't have a will. And it really bothered me. Most people don't have a will. They think, well, if I get a will, I'm going to die. I don't think I died. Some mornings I feel like it, but I don't think it's happened yet. But we did get a will. You get a free will, free legal will, free medical power of attorney with our service. And it really is something that, for most people, I'm not saying everybody, but for most people, you also get 60 free trial hours the first year. It goes up to 300 trial hours after 5 years. And many of our clients, they retain our services for 5 years. Again, you can cancel at any time, so there isn't anything to walk into, like a cell phone. In fact, I used the service one time because there was a disagreement with a cell phone company, and they told me that if I paid $538, they would sell the issue. My credit card, you know, it has a date on it, it expired. They said I canceled the contract. I just needed a new card. Call them and tell them. So what they did was they called me back and said, you know what, we'll make a really good offer for you. You can make 2 monthly payments for a total of $538. I said, I'm not making any. I called my law firm. After these people would call me. As soon as I made the phone call, I never heard from these people again. We have lots of stories. I'd be glad to tell them. We have time for one question, maybe, if somebody has a question for us today. There's much, much more. So is anybody, or a comment, you want to tell anything about if you are a person who has a service? Anybody want to tell real quickly about something?
All right, he's looking at me.
What happened to you?
6 o'clock in the morning, back in Connecticut. I'm driving down Route 4, doing 62 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Head past the country club. Bob pulls me over and nails me. Have to go to court. They send me an attorney. The attorney says, you sit there on the bench with the rest of the other losers. 5 minutes later, he comes out. He's like, come on, let's go. And he's walking me out. He's like, okay, no points, no fines, but if you drive past that country club again and Bob catches you, you're dead. It would have cost me 2 points on my license. And that, I think, can translate into what? $300 at the end of the year on my insurance. So, I am a big fan of Title II in the legal claim.
Thank you. And the other thing is, I do make house calls, so give me a call. Thank you very much.